Hey everyone, I just wanted to hop on here real quick and send you this little update video. So, as some of you know, the iPad that we have here at the church has been sort of outdated, no updates, terrible battery life. So, we have gone ahead and purchased a new iPad, but there is an issue we've run into that. So, the iPad we had before did not have a good iOS update, but now we have the current iOS. But that means that now the XAir app that we've been using no longer works. So what happens, before you'd click on it and you would open up into the mixer, but now you click and open it and it just shuts down. And it's, I could do it as many times as I want. It's just going to shut down because the app no longer works. So it's just unusable. So we have two solutions to this problem, two apps that we can use in its place. One I think is a little more user-friendly, so that's the one I'll show you first, but then I'll show you the other one as well. So the more user-friendly one that is actually made by the same people that made our mixer is this MX Air app here at the top. So I'll open that up and it's going to scan for consoles. And this is a pretty new app, so there's probably still some updates coming in down the pipe. So it might update from time to time and might look different. Might look a little different, but I'm happy to sit down and look at that with you. So it'll load this once it does a search. You'll click it, transferring parameters, and it's going to go ahead and open up. So as you can see, it looks a little bit different from the one that we'd used before, but it still, I would say, looks pretty similar and still functions the exact same. So we're just going to take a look at it. If you want to look over here at the left, far left side, we have channels 1 through 8, channels 9 through 16, and those are the only channels that you're ever going to need to use. And even 9 to 16, you're probably not ever going to use because it's just the computer audio in case we have a singing and we want to play a song, or Ryan has a clip that he wants to play in his sermon, and that's really the only time we'd ever use that. So I'll go ahead and mute that just in case. So we have this channels 1 through 8 line, and it has the wireless, the podium, it has the ceiling microphones, and like I've said, those are the only ones we really ever use. So those are about the same. We'll do the same. Say I want to turn up the podium microphone, we'll do that, unmute it, and then we have the podium microphone for access. The only thing that is different about this mixer compared to the one we had before was that there's a different way to access what we have in the house and then what we have going through the live stream. So over here on the right, we still have our main house bar, everything that comes out through the auditorium into the lobby, and then also downstairs as well if we want to turn that on. But to go to the live stream, what you'll have to do is you'll just click up next to this bug. That's not what I meant to do. You're going to click next to the bug, sends to house. So as you can see, there's main out, which is our house, but then there's live stream, and then buses 2 through 6. We're not going to use any of those. So it's the same thing. We're going to go to live stream. But then, okay, so again, we have this same format of, we have our wireless, we have our podium, our front microphones, and then going to 9 to 16, we have the computer audio as well, but that's all the way down. And then just as a quick little refresher, I think for best practice, I guess, for how to use the live stream audio, obviously whenever someone's talking, Ryan is preaching, we'll have the wireless microphone up, or whenever someone's at the podium for prayer or Lord's Supper talk, we'll have the podium unmuted, and that does automatically unmute the main house. So I unmuted it there, and now I'm on the house, so I'm going to mute that back, switch back to live stream, and it mutes it again. So that's still the same as well. But just one thing to make sure that we're all doing, just for best practice for live stream, because I feel like recently, especially with new mothers and illnesses that have been going around, it's important that the people online who are watching are able to get a good worship experience, even though they're not here with us. So just a quick reminder that whenever we have singing, it's important to drop the podium microphone, because the issue we had before was that whoever's leading singing, that's the only thing that we heard. But then also just making sure that the ceiling mics are muted as well. And as far as I can tell, there's not a one button that you can click to unmute all 4 of the microphones. So what you'll have to do is you'll just have to hit front and right, and then you'll have to hit back, left, and right, because they're paired, so that'll just be 2 taps for that. So again, that is, we have the podium microphone on. Go ahead and drop that all the way in the live stream bus. That's important that you drop it in the live stream bus. and then unmuting the ceiling mics. And I know Kevin does it a certain way where once the song is sort of started, he'll mute the podium, and I think that works just as well. But I think it's helpful for having the podium on in the house for leading. And I didn't mean to, out you there, Kevin, but just a little, there's multiple ways to do it. This is the way that I've found best, that it works for me. So there is that app right here. So that is the, what is this? The MX Mix app. And I'm just running through this super quick. So, if you want to completely disregard this, I think it's this second part especially, I think it's important that you heard the first part. But I'll go ahead and show you this second app. And if it ends up that nobody likes this second app, I'll go ahead and delete this from the iPad so there's no options for you. We have the mixing station. So the way this one works is what you're going to do. It's going to show up to this screen, and we're going to tap the X-Air mixer. We'll do search. So it's going to look for that specific device. And you'll see it here, XR16W B2 3D6F. You'll hit connect. It'll load up. And again, we have this similar layout that we have that you know is familiar from the X-Air, but then also the MX Mix app. So we have the same thing. We have the podium wireless. We have the front of house. And this main section is a little bit different because instead of the mute bars being at the very bottom, you'll notice that they're at the top. Mute disabled. Long pressed override. Okay, and I'll make sure that that's turned back on. That's so strange. Sure, so I'll make sure that's turned back on and easy to use. There we go. Okay. So the mute bar is at the top. Sorry for that little tangent right there. Mute bar is at the top, and it's the same. Now, if I'm going to pull you over to the right of the screen, sure, we have channels 1 through 12. I have this one set up so that we have every channel that we might ever need. So we have the wireless all the way down to channel 11 and 12. And channel 11, 12 is, I guess it's there in case we need to run audio from the stream computer instead of the PowerPoint computer. That's not something you ever need to worry about. Just a little bit of info there. But we do have the computer from the stream out just in case you ever need that. Go ahead and turn that down, mute it. So here over on the right, we have channels 1 through 12. This is into our house. And then we still have this yellow live stream box and that you'll see. Okay, I'm not seeing any mute buttons. This is still kind of the first little run through that I've had with this mixer. So I'm still getting used to it. But it still works the same with the sliders that we have, and I'm looking at it on the computer right now. And it still works and it still interacts with it. We have these podium mics. And I think what you would have to do for muting and unmuting, you would just need to go back and forth between these two sections. Okay, so it's the switch is just this live stream button you press to go to live stream, and then you switch back to the regular, and you would need to mute it from here and unmute it from there. So it's a little bit of an extra effort. So I think that overall, I think it will be best if we go ahead and just use this MX Air app. I think it's the most user-friendly. I think it's probably the most similar to what we had before. Sure, it'll take a little bit of getting used to, but I think that it is going to work the best for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and delete Mixing Station. Go ahead and delete that app. So down here at the bottom, and I'll go ahead and even delete the X-Air, just so there's no confusion with, oh, this isn't working, how do I get this to work? It just doesn't work at all. So that's where we're at. So we have MX Air, and that is the mixing app that we are going to use from now on. If we have any questions, shoot me a text. We can run through it before service, after service on a Sunday, Wednesday. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and upload this to my personal YouTube page and break it up into sections, I guess, just so you can see, if there's something specific you want to look at or a little reminder for how it works. You will have that resource as well. And then I've cleared just about everything else off of this iPad. There's files, App Store, and settings, really the only things that you'll need. But then we have the MX Mix app here at the bottom. So that's all I've got, and thanks for watching. If you have any questions, again, just let me know. Thanks.